The Silver Forecast is here to give you clear, data-driven predictions on where silver may be heading, up or down. But before we begin, let me say something. Conflict anywhere in the world brings the real possibility of loss of life, and we always hope that these events can be resolved through peaceful negotiations. That said, this channel focuses on the market impact, and today the situation unfolding around Venezuela could become one of the most important drivers for precious metals we've seen in years. Let's break it down.
Out possible military operations in Venezuela or strikes on Mexico and Colombia to stop drug traffickers. As U.S. Marines conduct joint training exercises there, Matt Rivers is in Trinidad and Tobago off the coast of Venezuela with the latest for us. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Robin. And from this spot where we are, we're only about a couple dozen miles from the coast of Venezuela, and it's in this area that the U.S. military has chosen to conduct these joint military exercises amid one of the largest buildups of the U.S. military in this region in decades. Overnight, we've got some new satellite images to show you of the most advanced lethal aircraft carrier in the world, the USS Gerald R. Ford, moving into the Caribbean as tensions escalate. Some 15,000 troops now in the waters off Venezuela, and overnight President Trump not ruling out using them on the ground, saying all options remain on the table. The president, though, also not ruling out talking with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, as the game plan here for the U.S. remains very unclear. And as the president weighs striking Venezuela, also overnight not ruling out striking both Mexico and Colombia, saying each is responsible for flooding the United States with drugs. For his part, President Maduro saying he wants peace, but at the same time calling up some 200,000 members of his country's military and various militia there, clearly preparing for the possibility of conflict.
Things are heating up in Venezuela. You don't keep a carrier strike force and an amphibious landing group off the shores of a foreign country for long. Segment 1, Why Venezuela Suddenly Matters. Venezuela isn't just an oil story. It's home to some of the largest rare earth deposits in the Western Hemisphere, the minerals that power smartphones, electric vehicles, satellites, and fighter jets. Right now, China controls about 70% of global rare earth mining and over 90% of global processing. They hold the world's supply chain by the throat. But if the US forces regime change in Venezuela, everything changes. Segment 2, Short-term impact, bullish for silver. In the short term, silver reacts to fear, uncertainty, and geopolitical instability, and nothing creates volatility like US carriers off a foreign coastline. Talk of regime change, Chinese warnings, sanctions, military posturing. When headlines intensify, precious metals almost always get a premium. Investors flee to safe havens. Gold goes first, silver follows fast. So short-term, the Venezuela situation is bullish for silver. Segment 3, the long-term twist. But here's where the story flips. If the US successfully installs a friendly government in Venezuela and gains access to those rare earth deposits, that means more Western production, more stability, and years of new mineral supply. A US-controlled Venezuela means more rare earths, more copper, more gold, and yes, potentially more silver entering global supply chains. More resupply over time means downward pressure on industrial metals, silver included. So long-term, if everything goes smoothly, the move could actually be bearish for silver. Segment 4, but here's the real wild card. China won't sit quietly. If the US grabs one of China's most valuable resource partners, Beijing may respond by restricting rare earth exports, accelerating de-dollarization, stockpiling gold and silver, dumping US treasuries, weaponizing critical mineral supply chains. If that happens, silver doesn't just go up, it surges. Because when China and the US move toward economic confrontation, precious metals become a global lifeboat. Segment 5, Final Outlook. So here's the silver forecast breakdown. Short-term, bullish, geopolitical fear premium, instability and headline-driven buying. Long-term, potentially bearish if the US stabilizes Venezuela and opens new mineral supply streams. Wild card, hyper-bullish if China escalates economically or weaponizes rare earth exports in response. 3 possible outcomes, 3 completely different paths for silver. And that's exactly why we watch situations like this so closely. This has been the Silver Forecast. Stay informed, stay prepared, and follow the lantern.